Make a choice, make it fast. Lightning never strikes twice like a highway.
Hello everyone, today is Food for Thought Thursday and today's topic is forgiveness. I asked you guys on Instagram and on here on YouTube about what you guys wanted me to talk about, and y'all gave me a lot of good topics, so it was really hard to choose, but one really stood out to me and I'm like, forgiveness, that's tea. I've had a few experiences with forgiveness in my life as well as many other people. I'm not the only person that has had to forgive people, but I think a video needs to be made on it because there's a lot of, let me say, like, myths around like forgiving someone and just forgiveness in general, like what it means and all that. So we're just gonna talk about it. Let's get into the video. Forgiveness isn't just a word, it's actually doing something, and it's, people get it confused with actually, like, when you forgive someone for something they've done, you usually, you know, are back cool with that person. That is not what forgiveness is. Don't get me wrong, you can be cool with that person if you really want to be cool with that person. Again, like, that's fine. That happens, but forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. And I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong. People don't realize that forgiveness is really for yourself, and it's almost like it goes hand in hand with like self-care, honestly, because if you're not forgiving people for things that they've done to you, you are hindering yourself from growing, literally, because forgiveness is a part of growing. You cannot move forward if you have grudges or if you have certain past hurts or traumas that you have not confronted and let go of. When you forgive someone or something, you are letting go of that, you know, what happened, or whatever that person or whatever is connected to them. You're letting go of all that energy, whether it be good or bad. You're letting go of everything when you forgive someone. And when you look at it that way, you are, you know, not as opposed to forgiving, because I feel like a lot of people are like, no, they don't deserve forgiveness or whatever. But in reality, everybody deserves forgiveness because it's not for that person. It's not for y'all to be cool again. It's not for you to be doing them a favor. It's for yourself. So if you ain't forgiving, you ain't with it, period. And I see why people don't want to forgive and why people hold on to so many grudges. I'm gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and just act like it's just one specific way to forgive someone. It's not easy, and it's not something that can just happen in a matter of seconds. Like, you don't just, oh, they're forgiven. Because the fact of the matter is, somebody's not forgiven if you still have any like feelings toward them. And you know you've truly forgiven someone if it's just like, you feel like a weight has been lifted off of you. It's very freeing and it's very like relieving because you're not holding on to that pain and that hurt from that person anymore. I guess the best way I could describe it is, you don't have to necessarily tell that person like, I forgive you. Like, no, you can literally just tell yourself like, I've forgiven them, I'm moving on, I'm gonna be okay, like, I'm healing. This is a part of the healing process. It's not for them, it's for me. Once you realize that, it's so much easier to forgive. It's more of like an affirmation type. You literally say, I'm forgiving them and I'm moving on. Like, that's it. That is all you have to do. You don't have to tell that person. Sometimes it feels better to tell that person because it kind of throws them off, because everybody, like I said, has these misconstrued ideas of what forgiveness is. So when you do tell that person, they're kind of like, oh, like, what's that mean? But it's like, no, it doesn't mean that I'm excusing what you've done. It means that I'm accepting what you've done. I'm realizing that it's not my fault, that, you know, what happened, and I'm looking at this as a learning experience. I'm moving on. I'm not blaming you or myself for this anymore, and we're gone. I'm leaving that situation in the past, and I'm no longer letting you have control over me. When somebody is still evoking emotions from you, in general, like just bad emotions, they have power over you. If they can make you angry, they have power over you. If they can make you upset, they have power over you. If you are forgiving that person, you truly are forgiving that person, they are no longer going to have that power. They don't have that hold on you anymore, because you've already made that step in your mind like, hey, what's done is done, and that is that. Because you have to realize, I really recommend you guys read the 4 Agreements, but you have to realize that nothing in this world is because of you. Nothing happens because of you. People don't treat you the way you know, they do because of you personally. You cannot take anything personal, because a lot of the time the way people act is a reflection on what's going on inside of them, what's going on around them. You don't know what's going on, okay? And that, like, does not, once again, does not excuse their actions whatsoever. But you have to realize that what people are dealing with in their world has nothing to do with you. You could do all of the right things. You could be the best friend ever, the best daughter ever, the best son ever, the best boyfriend, the best girlfriend, all of that, and still get hurt and still be betrayed and backstabbed and all of these terrible things. But it's not your fault, especially if you've done all of the right things. You have to realize that. And that's a big step in forgiving someone. You have to step back and realize, oh, like, this isn't because this, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not always because of you. Sometimes we are responsible for what happens in our life, but a lot of the time it's not a personal thing. It's just something that's going on within that person, especially if they're hurting you and you haven't done anything wrong. So you have to step back and realize that. And once you realize that, it's much easier to just let go of it and move on. And that's what forgiveness is, essentially. It's just letting go of that moment in time, that bad experience, that bad person, whatever happened, and, you know, moving on with your life. Could you imagine being upset over one thing for the rest of your life? Like, if you don't take the time now, then it's just gonna drag on. That's not the only experience you're gonna have. So you have to know now that it's important to deal with these things ahead of time. It's important to really evaluate yourself and these people and, you know, your situations ahead of time before they pile on and make things worse. Like, yo, that's a lot of the reason why, you know, the cycle just continues, because you're hurt and you're not dealing with your hurt, so therefore you're hurting other people. But it's because you can't help it, because you have so much hurt and pain along with you that's attached to you that you can't help but to project that onto other people. So basically, at the end of the day, it's a lose-lose situation. Like, you're not moving forward and you're hurting people doing the exact same thing that essentially, you know, is your downfall. So if that makes sense. Now I'm just gonna talk about, like, my experiences. I'm not gonna go into detail because I'm not trying to drag nobody. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not that serious. Me personally, it's not easy because I'm a very sensitive person, and especially if, you know, the situation is bad, or, you know, if I care a lot about the person, which is not hard for me to do. I'm very caring, and I do, you know, care about people a lot, especially when I have a relationship with them, whether that be a friendship or an actual relationship. So that ain't easy, but I've done it and it makes me feel so much better. It helps me heal because it's like, I'm not worried about you no more. Like, I'm not tripping off of what you did. I'm not tripping about, you know, us not being cool anymore or whatever. Like, it's just a mutual agreement that I have with the universe, that I'm like, okay, that person's over there chilling, like I'm chilling, and I'm not gonna let them affect me anymore, what happened between us. So yeah, guys, that's all for today's video. If you take anything away from this video, just remember that it's not for the other person, it's for you. And it really does help you grow as a person. It helps you move on spiritually. And it doesn't, you know, nobody wants baggage and extra pain attached to them. It's just no good. So yes, that's that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. I hope that you guys look at it differently now, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.